If a friend asked you if you'd like to spend the night at the Chinese opera, would you say yes? Hi, I'm David Clive Price, author of the Master Key to Asia and the Master Key to China, and founder of the International Business Passport coaching programs. So I was working as the executive speechwriter for Asia for HSBC in Hong Kong. It was the time of the return of Hong Kong to China, and I'd only been in the job 2 or 3 months. And a Chinese colleague in the bank asked me that same question. Hey David, how about going out for an evening with my Chinese friends, there's a whole group of us, to go out to the new territories near the border with China and enjoy an evening at the Chinese opera? Well, I don't know if you know anything about Chinese opera, and I'd only just discovered a little bit by watching the TV. It sounds a little bit like this, etc. And I also knew that it went on practically all night, forever and ever. So I'm standing there with this Chinese friend thinking, oh, Chinese opera, no, please, no, I can't stand that. Oh, what am I going to do? And out of my mouth, I'm looking at the Chinese friend, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to say yes at last to something. Okay, I said, yeah, sure, I'll come along. Now, I just want to explain my reluctance for a second. I hadn't really been out into Hong Kong much outside the bank and the central business district. I'd come from Japan, where I'd felt actually a bit of an outsider. That was my first year in the Far East, and I felt a bit of an outsider there already, largely because I stuck around with my other expat pals and couldn't really get into Japan's different ways of doing things, and I didn't speak very good Japanese, etc., etc. It hadn't gone all that well. Well, anyway, I came to Hong Kong in high excitement, and I thought this is going to go really well, and it's a more international city than Tokyo, etc. But still, in those first 2 to 3 months in Hong Kong, I was still hiding away a bit in my own world, scared. That's the important point. A bit scared to go out there and do anything beyond a little bit of socializing with my Chinese colleagues. I hung out with expats on the weekend, on Saturdays. I was a bit like Sally Bowles in Cabaret, you know, sitting alone in your room, and not doing very much outside your safe zone. So this was the first opportunity I had to really say yes, and I did. And I noticed it was for me probably the shift inside me, something pushed me inside to say, okay, Chinese opera, I'll go. Well, I went with inside me still saying, oh God, a whole evening of Chinese opera. Well, to cut a long story short, I loved it. About 20 minutes in, I was away. Everybody painted, all these characters painted with their faces painted, dragon and tiger and I don't know what, and then all these wonderful gestures, you know, they were sort of like this, the courtesan and the emperor, and lots and lots of dramatic gestures here and there, and wonderful sword fights that were going on with spears and the pirouetting kung fu across the stage, etc. And I was enraptured. It's the first time I'd seen one, and I thought this was fantastic. After the first hour, the first act came to an end, and I thought, well, I'm going to go on and watch more. Well, I didn't have to. The Chinese friends, they said, okay, come on, David, we don't normally stick around for the whole thing. We just do some of it. Come with us and we'll have some food. So I think, okay, Chinese food. I'm in my yes mood now. I'm going to go along with this. Let's try something else. Out in the new territory as well. We go to a restaurant, and then as we're approaching it, I see the sign, there's a little bit of English, it says snake soup. And I think, again, oh my God, snake. I've never tasted snake, but I have heard rumours that it's, the big joke is that it tastes like chicken. And also is rather disgusting. And I go in, and again I'm sitting there with these Chinese friends, and I'm thinking, I can't, and it's coming to the table, and I can see out over in the distance some old Chinese boys there having the actual innards or something from the bile duct or something squeezed out of the snake into their Chinese wine, and I'm thinking, oh God, this is going to be impossible. And I try the first dish of snake pieces. I try, egged on by my Chinese friends. It's fine. Tastes a bit like chicken, it's fine. And what's more, the next dish, which was the snake soup, was even more fine. Medicinal, warming, and I was away. This was a lovely evening. I really enjoyed it. It was exciting. So the point of this story that I'm trying to tell you is I made the first step. And you have to do that if you're going to go out and succeed in Asia business. One of the greatest visas you can have for your passport to success in Asia is a visa here. There are 3 of them, and I'm going to tell you the rest in this series. But the first one, number 1, is courage. You've got to say yes, take a risk, even if it makes making mistakes, even if it means almost falling flat on your face. There's another series in this video series called Failing Your Way to Success in Asia, and I want you to do that too. If you're going to go out there, make mistakes, say yes, have courage, do things that are unexpected, come out of yourself. Because what happened to me? I said that first yes, I said that second yes, and from then onwards, instead of hiding away in my little Sally Bowles cabaret apartment, I went out and experienced things. And it went on from there. I became well known for trying everything, for being ready to fail, being ready maybe to be horrified by something, but to take that risk, to jump over. And you don't have to be perfect, but enter into another culture. And from there I was able to mix with a lot of Chinese business people out into the business world, and I eventually left HSBC and I set up my own company because of the confidence that this first yes and courage took. And I went out there, and beyond that I expanded into Asia and had different branches in other Asian cities, and I worked with a lot of business people in other Asian cultures: Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Myanmar, Thailand, China, Japan, Korea. And the reason why I could do that is saying that yes, to take part, participate, and eventually perhaps, like me, even immerse yourself. But you don't have to go that far. I eventually married a Chinese, but you don't have to do that. You just have to use me as your tool, as your passport for moving out into those cultures and learning all the different aspects of business. Because after all, that first yes leads to a whole world of being able to network, to build relationships, to negotiate well, to participate in the inside world, in the network of Asian business relationships. And it all stems from you being able to step over and say yes. So that's it for today. If you'd like me to help you say yes, if you'd like me to help you apply competitive intelligence, local market knowledge, and targeted branding to each Asian market, contact me for a free strategy consultation, which you can find on my webpage. There's a small contact form there, and you can fill that in. 30 minutes with me via Skype or phone, and we can set out your first plans to say yes, to expand your business, to target and tailor, and to use courage and intelligence, and to make mistakes, all in your Asia business plan. Thanks for following me today, and I wish you every success with your business in Asia.